There's a very good saying in the world of stock market. In short term, stock market is driven by sentiments, and in the long term, stock market is driven by fundamentals. So when you invest in stock market, you can take two approaches. First approach is short-term investment where you invest for a few months, book profit and exit. And second approach is long-term investment where you invest in fundamentally strong companies with a goal to generate wealth in the long term. If you follow the first approach of short-term profit booking, you might end up investing purely on the basis of current sentiment. For example, if there is a good quarterly result or there is a positive sentiment, you will invest. And if there is a bad quarter and a negative sentiment, then you will exit. However, if you follow the second approach, then you invest with a long-term vision. And if the company is fundamentally strong, then any fall in the share price due to short-term negative sentiment would create an opportunity to invest in the company. Hello friends, my name is Sahil and this is my Personal Finance Academy. So the result season is on and there's a lot of action in the market. While some stocks are doing very well, a lot of stocks have seen correction in the share price. So in this video, I want to discuss 3 stocks that are fundamentally strong and have a bright growth prospect in the long term. Although these shares have corrected almost 20 to 25% from their peak. But I believe that if you are a long-term investor, then any correction in such fundamentally strong companies would create an opportunity to invest more. Although it is very difficult to have that conviction to invest when the share is falling and there is negative sentiment around the company. However, such falls create an opportunity to invest for the long-term wealth creation. Alright, now let's look at 3 mid-cap shares that are looking very attractive at current levels after the correction and worth accumulating for long-term wealth creation. But before we begin, this video is only for long-term investors. And please do not blindly invest based on this video. Do your own research before investing. If you want to learn more about stock investment, you can explore my complete course on money management. Third company in my list is Laurus Lab. Established in 2005, Laurus Lab is one of the leading manufacturers of API for antiretroviral, that is treatment of HIV, oncology, that is treatment of cancer, cardiovascular, that is treatment of heart problem, anti-diabetic, anti-asthma and gastroenterology, that is treatment of digestive system. API is basically called active pharmaceutical ingredients, which is a key component for manufacturing of the medicines. So Laurus Lab mainly started with API development, but it has slowly expanded its product portfolio and entered into the finished dosage segment to transform into a complete pharmaceutical company. Today, it has a wide range of product category across various segments contributing to company's growth. Mr. D. Satyanarayan Chava is the founder and CEO of Laurus Lab and has more than 27 years of experience in the business. Now I don't want to get into the details of their business as I have already covered this company in my stock fundamental analysis. Here I want to talk about the future growth prospect of the company. Although there is a short-term correction in pharma sector in India, but the long-term growth prospects are very strong. The increased healthcare expenditure by urban population and rapid surge in the aged population are influencing the API's market growth. Moreover, there are increased cases of infectious diseases, HIV cases, cardiovascular issues and diseases like cancer. Laurus Lab is one of the major supplier of medicine in area of HIV treatment, cancer treatment and heart-related treatment. Another important reason for high growth in future is due to the biggest theme of China Plus One. There was a high dependency on China, especially for the API manufacturing. But after COVID disrupted the entire supply chain, global pharma manufacturers have realized the importance of having an alternative to China and India has emerged as strong contender. In fact, even the Indian government is focusing a lot on Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, where it is encouraging in-house manufacturers of products including APIs and medicine. All these factors would fuel the growth of Laurus Lab in the future in both domestic and international markets. Laurus Lab is expanding its product portfolio as well as manufacturing capacity. Company is expanding its reach with multiple products launches in anti-diabetic and cardiovascular segment in the US market. It is significantly increasing its formulation and API capacity by FY 22-23. As far as financials are concerned, Laurus Lab has shown consistent growth over the last 5 years. Its revenues have grown from 1,778 crore in FY16 to 5,118 crore by June 21 at a CAGR of 22.3%. Its profits have grown from 131 crore in FY16 to 1,053 crore by June 21 at an exceptional CAGR of 48%. It has a very high profitability with current ROE of 45.2% and ROCE of 39.6%. Company has debt to equity of 0.57, which is very comfortable. Laurus Lab has a market cap of 28,000 crore rupees. If you look at the shareholding pattern, in the last 2 quarters, promoters have kept the shareholding constant at 27.3%. FII have increased the shareholding in September quarter from 21.54% to 22.82%. Even DII have increased the shareholding from 4.15% to 4.81%. Both DII and FII increasing their shareholding signifies strong trust of institutional investors. If you look at the share price movement, in last 1 year, the share has doubled from level of 330 to 700 in August 21. But since then, the share has corrected almost 25% to current level of 535. Now at current level, Laurus Lab is trading at a PE ratio of 27. That looks undervalued to me. So like I said, there is a negative sentiment in pharma sector and it has resulted in fall of Laurus Lab. I think that the long-term growth story of Laurus Lab still remain intact. Second stock in my list is Deepak Nitrite. Established in 1970, Deepak Nitrite is a leading chemical company with presence across 3 segments: basic chemical, fine and specialty chemical, and performance products. Within basic chemical, Deepak Nitrite is a leading producer of sodium nitrite and sodium nitrate in the world. That has application in your paint industry, petrochemical industry, and rubber industry. Then within fine and specialty chemical, Deepak Nitrite is among top 3 global producer of xylidine, cumidine, and oxime that finds application in your agrochemical, colors and pigment, paper, personal care, and pharma industry. Within performance product, it has got optical brightening agent and flavonic acid that has application in your textile, coating, paper, detergent, etc. Deepak Nitrite has a 100% subsidiary with name Deepak Phenolics, which manufactures your phenol, acetone, and isopropyl alcohol. Deepak Nitrite is the largest producer of phenol and acetone in India since 2018. Phenol are used for making glue, household products, and as intermediate for industrial synthesis. Then acetone is a solvent used in manufacturing of pharma products, plastics, cosmetics, and personal care products. IPA is also a key component in manufacturing of cleaning, disinfectant, inks, agrochemical formulation, resins, acrylic emulsion, pharmaceutical products, and sanitizers. Now I don't want to get into too much detail as I have already covered Deepak Nitrite in my stock fundamental analysis. Deepak Nitrite chairman and MD is Mr. Deepak C. Mehta. He has over 40 years of experience in chemical industry and one of the prominent personality in chemical sector in India. His son, Mr. Maulik Mehta, is the CEO of the company. He has also done Masters in Industrial and Organization Psychology from Columbia University, USA. Further, he has done his MBA from Harvard University, Boston. Recently, Deepak Nitrite has corrected 16.6% in last 1 week. This correction was in entire chemical sector. So there are 2 major reasons for this correction. First reason is that the entire chemical sector was trading at premium valuation, and recently the quarterly performance of one of the chemical company, Navin Fluorine, was not in line with street expectations. Due to that, there is a negative sentiment as the market is expecting weaker Q2 results from chemical companies. But again, these are pure speculations. Another reason for fall in Deepak Nitrite share was because Finance Ministry has revoked the anti-dumping duty on phenol on import from European Union, Singapore and Korea. So analysts are expecting that it would impact the profitability of the company. However, the growth story of chemical sector in India is not a short-term trend. There is a big structural shift in global supply chain due to focus on China Plus One, where companies are reducing their dependency from China and minimizing the business risk. India is already the 6th largest producer of chemical and has all the required skill set and technology to cater to this ever-growing global demand for chemicals. Hence, India is said to be a key beneficiary of this shift. In fact, even the Indian government is focusing a lot on domestic manufacturing with your Atmanirbhar Bharat, and this would again help the Indian companies to flourish in the long term. There would be increase in demand not only from the global market but also from the domestic market due to increasing chemical consumption across industries. Deepak Nitrite is all set to encash the growing demand as being one of the biggest players in the chemical industry and has already invested in manufacturing new plants to cater to this growing demand. Deepak Nitrite continue to expand the business by both backward and forward integration, where company would expand its scope of various value-added products with forward integration. For example, Deepak Phenolic invested more than 1400 crore over the last 2-3 years, which is one of the largest investment in India's chemical sector in recent years. Then in April 2020, Deepak Nitrite subsidiary Deepak Phenolics commissioned a 30,000 metric ton annually plant at Dahej to make isopropyl alcohol from acetone. Earlier, there was a huge dependency on China for these products. So new production would significantly reduce companies' dependency on import of these products. IPA is an important input in the production of essential pharmaceutical and manufacturing of sanitizers. If you look at the financials, Deepak Nitrite revenues have grown from 1,363 crore in FY16 to currently at 5,211 crore in June 21 at a CAGR of 28.9%. Its profits have grown from 63 crore in FY16 to 979 crore by June 21 at an exceptional CAGR of 68.6%. If you look at the profitability, Deepak Nitrite latest ROE is 39.6% and ROCE is 39.9%, which is exceptional. Its debt to equity is 0.25, which is very comfortable. Currently, Deepak Nitrite has a market cap of 33,000 crore. If you look at its shareholding pattern, promoters have kept the shareholding constant in September quarter, whereas FII have slightly reduced their position. Although DII have slightly increased the shareholding from 10.41% to 10.61%. If you look at the share price, in last 5 years, Deepak Nitrite shares have jumped almost 30 times from level of 100 to level of 3000. That's a crazy growth. In fact, in last 1 year, Deepak Nitrite shares have consistently jumped from 700 rupees to level of 3000 rupees. However, it has recently corrected around 18-19% from the peak and currently trading at rupees 2,435. In spite of such high jump, at current levels, it is trading at 34 PE, which is much lower than the average PE of chemical sector considering the bright growth prospect. Overall, Deepak Nitrite is a strong player in chemical sector with a very bright growth prospect. Now, there might be some challenges due to rising crude oil prices and rising commodity prices in the short term. But in the long term, I expect the chemical sector in India to do well. Hence, Deepak Nitrite is a good stock to accumulate on dips and looking attractive at current levels. Now, first stock in my list is from technology sector. It is CAMS. Established in 1988, CAMS is a registrar and transfer agency of mutual funds. So basically, investors in mutual funds do a lot of transaction. They may buy, sell or switch units or even request their bank to change their residential address or email. Each such request is a transaction by itself. Now, mutual fund houses have to maintain records of such transactions. But mutual fund houses or AMC's core business is to build the investment portfolio, market them to get more and more investors and manage the investors' money. So maintaining the transaction record and report generation is not their core business. Hence, they delegate this task of report maintenance, data maintenance, report generation, etc. And that's where RTA comes into picture. CAMS is the biggest RTA with around 70% market share in the RTA business in India. That is, CAMS provide support to more than 70% AUM of India's mutual fund industry. If you look at the leadership, Mr. Anuj Kumar is the CEO of the company. He holds 30 years of experience. He did his bachelor's from Birla Institute of Technology and master's from IIM Calcutta in 1991. If you look at the future growth, Indian mutual fund industry is still in its nascent stage. As per a research report, the Indian mutual fund industry is expected to grow at a CAGR of around 17 to 18% for the next 4 to 5 years. The key growth drivers are, first, India is the fastest growing economy and poised to become the third largest economy after US and China in the next few years. When the economy will grow, the investors will invest more money and that would result in growth of the mutual fund industry. This would again result in growth of the RTA segment. Then there is a huge shift from your traditional investments like your FD to mutual fund due to growing awareness about mutual fund investment and very low interest rate on fixed instruments. Moreover, there's an ease of investment. A few years ago, it was a pain to invest in mutual funds. But today, due to multiple fintech firms, investment in mutual fund is a matter of few clicks. This has created a lot of convenience for investors, and hence we have seen a surge in total number of mutual fund investors. Moreover, due to the rising internet penetration and smartphone usage, there is a huge growth in the mutual fund sector. Now, CAMS is also focusing on services apart from mutual fund, including your alternate investment fund, insurance repository services, and other banking and non-banking financial services that also has a bright growth prospect. If you look at the financials, CAMS revenues have grown from 442 crore in FY16 to currently at rupees 722 crore by June 21 at a CAGR of 9.8%. Its profits have grown from 81 crore in FY16 to 267 crore by June 21 at a CAGR of 25.5%. If you look at the profitability, CAMS' latest ROE is 44% and ROCE is 57.7%, which is exceptional. Its debt to equity is zero, which means it is a completely debt-free company. Currently, CAMS has a market cap of around 15,000 crore. If you look at the shareholding pattern, its promoters have kept the shareholding constant in September quarter, whereas FII have increased the shareholding from 25.11% to 26.49%. Although DII has reduced the shareholding from 21.82% to 15.15%. In last 1 year, CAMS share have jumped significantly from level of 1300 to rupees 4000. Then there was a sharp fall of 25% in the share price, and currently it is trading at a level of rupees 3000. This sharp fall was due to profit booking from one of the PE firm as the share has surged significantly. At current level, CAMS is trading at a level of PE of 56. Although generally speaking this PE is on higher side. But considering the fact that mutual fund industry in India has a bright growth prospect and CAMS is the leader in RTA segment with 70% market share, I expect the stock to do well in the long term and hence a good chance to accumulate after this 25% correction in share price. So in this video we discussed the 3 fundamentally strong companies that are looking attractive for accumulation after the recent correction of 20 to 25%. Laurus Lab, Deepak Nitrite and CAMS. Please note that in the short term, there could be more correction or there could be a chance that the share does not perform well in the near term. If you want to create wealth, you need to keep patience and invest for long term. A lot of people say that we invested in a particular stock and it is not moving in last 2-3 months. You can't just invest and always expect the share to go up in the short term. And that's where majority of retail investors fail to create wealth as they don't keep patience. If a stock does not perform well for 2-3 months, then they sell it. So make sure you don't make this mistake. Any correction in fundamentally strong companies create an opportunity to invest. So tell me in the comments, among the 3 stocks that we discussed, which stock have you invested in? And also tell me in the comments if you identify any fundamentally strong company that is looking attractive at current levels. I'll try to look into the company and create a video if the company is looking really promising. You can also explore my weekly video series where I discuss my investment strategy and stock where I am investing my money. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.